Good evening, campers, it's me, Kieran. Today we are going to discuss Haruki Murakami's South of the Border, West of the Sun. South of the Border by Haruki Murakami discusses the story between Hajime and his love between Shimamoto. Hajime first had feelings for Shimamoto while they were in school, and while Hajime decided to pursue other relationships, ultimately loved Shimamoto, but she had to leave. Years later, Hajime now owns a successful jazz bar. He has a wife and has kids, and all in all his life is pretty fine. He has nothing really to complain about. But one day, Shimamoto walks into the bar. On this moment, Hajime wants to rekindle his relationship with Shimamoto. Look, this is really Norwegian wood. I don't really know how to say this. It doesn't have any of his eccentricisms. It doesn't have any of this surrealism. It is a straightforward romantic story, just like Norwegian wood. And I've read Norwegian wood. I'll link that review down below. But this was basically Norwegian wood. And this perplexes me because I remember reading that Murakami did not like one bit the Norwegian wood was like this bestseller, that he wanted to be known for his more surreal works and not this love story that he churned out. And then he did it again. We have Norwegian Wood by the Beatles, which Toro hears at the airport when he's 30 years old, and that is what makes him faint and relive the experience of his youth. Here we have South of the Border, a fictional song by Nat King Cole. Now, what could be the reason for that? Personally, I would like to say that Camila Cabello and Ed Sheeran didn't release this song back when this was published, or that it's something to do with the rights of the music, or that Murakami is advising that there is a timelessness to this. The South of the Border is meant to represent to America opportunity, experience, a land of something new. Something, funnily enough, that Cormac McCarthy discusses within All the Pretty Horses. I'll link that review below, but Hajime feels as though his interaction with Shimamoto is south of the border, that it is something new, something that he wants to experience. But Shimamoto advises that this could be west of the sun. Shimamoto describes the west of the sun means that you are stuck in a routine and there's no real way out of it, and therefore Hajime and Shimamoto can't really experience this love because they're stuck in their routines. They have their lives. They can't do it, even though they want to move south of the border, even though they want to experience this love. They can't. I can't express this enough. This feels like Norwegian wood, and if you like Norwegian wood, you'll like this, and I like Norwegian wood, and therefore I like this, but I would much rather read Norwegian wood than this book. Make do with that information as you will, but this just feels like a really weird move for Murakami, just in the fact that he was so adamant about that it was Norwegian wood that propelled him to the literary star that he is today. And I'm not saying that his other works haven't helped propel him, but Norwegian wood definitely cemented him as an author of note. This all feels strangely familiar. It's as if Norwegian wood was the blueprint for this. It's just different characters, not even a different setting, really. I think the relationship is done like Norwegian wood well. I think the sex scenes, like Norwegian wood, are a little bit laughable, but nevertheless, it's Murakami. What did you expect? But I wouldn't urge people to read it. But it's a classic romantic Murakami. I will say it does make me a little bit panicked that Sputnik Sweetheart is going to be like this, which was like Norwegian wood, and therefore this is just going to be another Norwegian wood. So I might just read this to get it out of the way. But nevertheless, for me, South of the Border, West of the Sun is a 3 out of 10.